So some shorty was telling me that great things come in small packages. I think it's because she was short. But then again, when you order like a dildo and it comes in like a box the size smaller than a Harry Potter book, yeah, I'm not sure that statement still applies. But anyways, it's shorties who say it, they probably don't mind small dicks too. We should start this podcast. Let's go.
Battle of the sexes.
Oh yeah, welcome back to Battle of the Sexes, Battle of the Sexes.
Damn, son. Another 12 episodes down. Welcome to Break Time on West Side, your number one break time podcast show coming to you from Nairobi, Kenya. The man on the mic is Sir Denver B. We are at the season finale of Battle of the Sexes. This is pretty much the final week of Break Time on West Side Season 2, of which we will be taking a break for a month. For those of you all that have stuck around through all of this, thank you very much for listening in. And for those of you all that have been giving your feedback, thank you so much. I live for that shit. And for those of you all that are still behind, well, I'm sure you'll probably be listening to this in like 2025 or some shit. But it's okay. I appreciate the fact that you're listening. That being said, though, over the next month that we will be on break before we come in for season 3, of course, I will be doing some minisodes as promised on the Friday fan section of last week. I will be doing some short minisodes, maybe 5 minutes, maybe a bit more, depending on what it is that I'll be discussing over the course of that month. And it'll be an episode a week, just so that guys, knowing that I'm still alive and I still exist on planet Earth. For the minisodes, you shall be getting them on IGTV, possibly every Wednesday, and I will try and make an audio version just to upload on your regular podcast streaming platforms. But for the most part, you should probably go follow Breaktime on Westside on IG so that you can keep up to date and get the IGTV episodes because they'll be in video. That being said, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably gonna be the most unscripted episode that I have done ever. Mainly because I didn't write shit down, I did not plan for shit, I did not even look shit up on the internet. It was just something that came to mind and just hit me right in the gonads. Because it's something that I think I went through a little too much. And it happened a lot during like high school days, then like a little bit of the start of like my campus, my university life and shit. Because I realized something. And it was something that was repeated to me even before I started university, but I still ended up falling for the same trap. And it was this: nice guys finish last. Now, the thing is, I refuted that statement and I was like, you know what? You can be a nice person and still get lots of girls, which is true. And the few people that have agreed with me are old enough and are married. And that kind of got me thinking. Now, all the people that disagree with me, that aren't married, that aren't even trying to get married, why do they have that sort of thought process? So I went in, I looked at it, and I realized that whatever the hell I was busy telling myself was absolute bullshit. Nice guys obviously do finish last. And it's for a bunch of different reasons, of which I can chalk them up to usually just 2. 1, they're being nice at the wrong damn time. And 2, they are just pretending. They're fucking pretenders. They don't even know what the hell it is that they are doing, but they're just doing it so that they can appease someone, so that they can get some shit out of them. It seems manipulative, but sometimes it's involuntary. It's like a subconscious thing. It's like a knee-jerk reaction. But, this time it's a knee-jerk reaction to seeing someone that's probably really fine, or in some of my cases just has really, really amazing booty. Yep, I have got to admit it. There are times when I just look at a booty and I'm like, you know what? I can risk it all for this one. But the not being nice at the right time bit is actually probably one of the tougher things to understand when you're a young person. When you're in your youth, when you're not trying to get married or some shit. That is where it kind of does show itself. Because, no lie, when you're single and you're like in high school, you're in uni, you've probably started working. Let's say you're between the age of probably 15, 16, if you didn't start hitting on girls when you're 13 or some shit. And yeah, between your teenage years and let's say probably about 30, that's when you'll pretty much be, how would I say? That's when you're not supposed to be nice, in a sense. Because in reality, even though women talk about how they want a nice guy, let's get this straight. First of all, women don't really know what the hell it is that they want. And because they don't know what the hell it is that they want, then obviously they're gonna keep on telling you stuff that doesn't exactly fit them. You're gonna go try and be that person, which leads on to the pretending bit, but I'll head to that later. And then you go back and then they end up not giving you what it is that you want. You can't keep doing shit just because someone else wants it that way. Like, you've got to be yourself, my nigga. So shorties will come through and they'll tell you, oh, I want a nice person who appreciates me, shows me their true feelings, are vulnerable around me, someone who can treat me nice, someone that could constantly compliment me. And then you're gonna try and do that shit, and you're gonna be nice, and you're gonna be an amazing person to them. And I'm gonna say amazing person because I feel as though some of these people are genuinely amazing people. When you look at the amount of things that they do, that is amazing. But at the end of it, you end up finding that your shorty probably cheated on you with some low down nigga, or they probably didn't even date you, though. Like, they really like you, but they only like you as a friend or as a brother or as an uncle or as a grandfather. Or they might end up just toying around with you and leading you on and constantly telling you no, not now, up until, kingdom come and shit. But here's the flip side of it. The flip side of all of this is when they're in the line of, okay, now I want to get married, there's a good chance that now that's when you'll be on demand. You being on demand before that and you're still being a nice guy, probably not going to happen. But you getting married to her, there's a good chance it might. So for the rest of that time, if you want my advice, don't be a nice guy. Stop giving a shit. You can treat them a little less nicely and you'll probably get a lot better treatment. I'm not saying that you treat them like absolute shit, but, well, over time, you'll kind of understand the difference. But as I'm trying to explain that difference, let me head on to the second bit. Y'all are just fucking pretenders. I'm not even going to sugarcoat that. Y'all are just pretending. Because I'm not going to lie to you. I will act all sorts of people, but I see this shorty that I am liking so damn much. Like, I'm obviously not gonna waste time trying to, show that I'm the boss or something. Because, well, yeah, the last time I tried that shit backfired properly. So I'm gonna approach her, or, probably we'll just meet up, start talking, and I'll throw in some vibes here and there, and I'll try to treat her as well as I can. If we're going for lunch, I might offer to pay the bill. If we're taking an Uber, I might pay for the Uber. If she's going for an event and I'm going for the event, I might go all the way to her place and pick her up. Yes, I know, I've done that shit before. And, if, let's say we're on campus together, I might just help her with her assignment to do the whole thing. I'll pretty much do whatever it takes. And now that's where the problem comes in. Because I'm pretending. Because if I wasn't interested in this babe, if I wasn't interested in her looks, if I wasn't interested in the curves, if I wasn't interested in the thickness, in the booty, in the tits maybe, hell, of course, I have to like what I see in the face department as well. Or at least I have to be content with it. If I didn't want any of those things, I wouldn't be doing jack shit. And when you kind of think about that, it does kind of start making a bit of sense. So now, in addition to me trying to do all of that, I'm doing all of that expecting a certain outcome. If that doesn't spell pretense, then I don't know what is. Because even when you're trying to get some shit from your parents and you're all nice and you're trying to treat them well and, you're asking them how they eaten well, if you can wash their hands. For those of you that don't necessarily relate with this is an African child thing. You kind of have to cozy up to your parents in a certain way so that you can get something sometimes. You go and you try and cozy up to them. You make sure that, chores are well done, your room is well made or some shit. And then you go and you ask for permission for something. It's more or less a pretense. It's just that that's a beneficial pretense because it works towards the favor of the both of you. Both the parents and you, because cleaner house, cleaner room, good relations on both sides, blah, blah, blah. And it's a win-win. But you're pretty much doing this because you want the pussy. Like, I'm trying to get this shorty that I'm crushing on. This shorty that I think is so bloody fine that I can't afford to let anything go. And while I'm busy trying to throw in all of that, it's like I'm not being my genuine, authentic self. Because if someone comes and asks me to help them with an assignment, I can help them for the first 5 minutes. But after that, I'm like, you know what? I've pretty much given you all the help I can. Go help yourself. If they ask for more help, then I will refer them to YouTube, Google, and as many other places as I can. That being said, if it was one of my other homies, if it was one of my niggas asking me to do that, would I pay for the meals? Would I pay for the Uber? Yes, I might sometimes. If one of my homies, and they have to be super close, like they have to be really, really close for me to do that, so that I can actually pay for them, like, of course I would. But I'd never really do that for just any girl. Like, this one is supposedly special. And then that idea of, am I showing that I need her? Am I showing that I want her that badly? Because for some reason, it's been said, women want to be wanted, not needed. If you show too much of that, I'm willing to do anything for you, there's that need feeling. You get me? And obviously, she don't want a nigga that need her. She want a nigga that want her. And that time I'm busy showering her with compliments, like a compliment a day. Like, oh, did you do your hair over the weekend? Oh, you have the nicest eyes. Oh, I think your curves could do blah, 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 blah. And that time, she probably getting rammed by a guy that does not even tell her one compliment, does not even notice her hair. Like, she clearly belongs to the streets, and you've been ignoring that shit for the longest time. Like, that shorty ain't your shorty. She belonged to the streets. If you're going to treat her nice in the relationship, not before that. Or at least don't be too nice, as some people would say. Because here's how it is. If you're doing all that pretending, at the end of it, if they don't give you what it is that you want, you're not going to treat them the same way. Which is why a lot of times they'll start calling you a friend, a brother, a close friend, so that they can continue milking you dry of that good treatment. Because if they bring you close and they keep you close enough, they can keep you doing shit for a long time. But nowadays, us niggas, we don't like being friend zoned. So if we don't see a chance there, there's a good number of us that'll be like, you know what, fuck this shit. And then we bounce. But there's still quite a number of guys that won't do that, that'll be willing to do that. And the worst bit is that shit even goes into the workplace. There's that nigga in the office that will be willing to pretty much pay for lunch for this babe every single day. If all your colleagues decide to go out for drinks over the week after a long day at the office, this guy will probably handle her drinks too. And she might be getting paid the same as that nigga. And you ask yourself, why is this nigga spending all of this money, all of this time, all of this attention on this one particular babe? And it's just pretense. Why the fuck are you pretending just to get a shorty? Like, I will not lie to you guys. One of the best things to sell is yourself. There's nothing that you can be better at than being yourself. Now, if you don't know what being yourself is, then you should probably get some time and learn yourself. Take some time off. Have some alone time. And I'm not talking about alone time to go and whack your meat with some lotion in the bathroom. I'm saying alone time to sit and properly soul search, properly understand what it is that you like, what you don't like, the stuff that you're willing to do, the stuff that you're not willing to do, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Because at the end of it, before you get this babe, you have to ask yourself, am I willing to do all of these things for this one babe? Am I willing to go the extra mile for someone who might probably be getting boned by some other dude somewhere else? And I'm not saying this to say that every single shorty is being boned by a different dude somewhere else that's probably not getting a haircut, not trying to look all dapper and all yet you are, or anything of that sort. Hell, sometimes you might be crushing on a shorty who has a boyfriend, and then she says that she only see you as a friend, and then the nigga pull up and the guy didn't even care about her. Like, that's how bad stuff gets nowadays. So are you willing to put everything down and go the extra mile for that one babe? Actually sit down and look at it. It's not worth it. It's not worth the pretense. If you're not the type to pay for a shorty's meals, if you're not the type to pay the bills for someone because you like them, like, how will you feel after all of that? If you don't get the shorty, will you be okay? Will you just go home and just get back to your lotion? I'd rather put that money aside and just spend it on more lotion and whack my meat all day. Because in reality, I don't really see the need to pretend. What I can advise you to do is constantly try and become a better version of yourself on a daily. Because at the end of it, as long as you're constantly selling the best version of yourself, at least you're going to get genuine reactions. If people genuinely want you, you will get people that will stick around. If they don't want you, then obviously the most that they can do is stick around for a short period of time and then fade off. Very few of them can actually manage to hold up a persona for a very long time. So as we continue through 2020, I'm going to try and advise people. All that R&B shit that you were told since the years back, since the 90s and the 80s and the 2000s, and that trap soul shit that we've been getting since mid 2010s and shit, about being the nice nigga, about treating her right. Don't do that shit up until you're in the bloody relationship. That's my facts. Y'all should stop pretending and stop trying to treat people extra nice because you want to try and get some shit from them. She probably knows very well the only reason you're treating her right is because you want to get some of that ass. And because of that, she's gonna milk you for the cow that you are. Because at that point in time, you pretty much just turned yourself into a cow. And you will get milked, and you will get milked until there is nothing left. And you're gonna walk away with nothing but a dick in your hands and a lot of money used up. That being said, if you're gonna be nice, wait until you're trying to get married, then you can be nice. Because at that point, there's a lot more women that are down for a guy who's just a very genuine gentleman. Anyways, that is it for Battle of the Sexes for this season. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Tried to go a little left on this shit. But as usual, feedback, comments, criticism, and usual likes and responses on IG at Breaktime on Westside, on Twitter at Bagaka the D is capital, and on Facebook at Breaktime on Westside. I will see you guys next season. Take care.